and welcome to the Golden Hour and the Live Life Manifest to Live. Oh my gosh. We're going to start this again. Roll it back. Welcome to the Golden Hour and the Manifest to Live Golden YouTube and podcast show. I'm Golden Duffy, and we're going to streamline this. We're going to come to this show with all the good energy that we possess, and I'm really excited to be here. I took a week off. I have not done that in so long, so I ran a rerun last week, and I can't even tell you the last time that I did that. I always make sure I get my shows done before vacations, and I'm very, very committed. But last week I just felt like I needed a break. So I set up a rerun, and today I'm coming to you fresh, coming off of a head cold, chest cold. So bear with me on that, but I'm feeling great. And it's so interesting what happens when we do go through an illness and we come back and we really are grateful for our health. I never take my health for granted. I always exercise. I always move my body, but just having that little bit of a break and laying around and kind of being under the weather just makes feeling good feel so good. And that is our capacity for joy becomes so much more when we experience challenges or when we experience things that are not optimal. We come back feeling renewed. And that's how I feel today. I think it's a perfect day to do the New Year's show. I'm actually recording this on New Year's Eve, so it's not exactly New Year's yet, but I'm already feeling the energy of 2025, and it's feeling really rampy. It's feeling really good. I've seen a couple of things in astrology that are making me feel like they're just confirming how I'm feeling. I always base everything on my feelings and not necessarily on astrology. I don't like to give my power away to anything. I think there's some good things about astrology. There's some good things about everything. But for me, I love to kind of keep my power to my individual path. So in 2025, we've got a choice to make. We've got a choice to make today. We've got a choice to make moving forward. And I think what happens a lot of times, and I see people do this all the time, they'll say that the last year sucked. Like they can't wait to get out of 2024 because it was a terrible year. And the truth is, no year needs to be terrible. I've shared this with you guys before. No day even needs to be terrible. There's just terrible or contrasting moments. I don't even like to call them terrible. Challenging moments that we have that we're being asked to clarify what we want through. So when you're really challenged, or when you're, facing an illness, or when a relationship ends, or something happens that's less than optimal, you lose your job, it's there to help you clarify. It's an invitation to help you clarify what you really do want, because you don't know what you do want until you know what you don't want. And when you know what you don't want very strongly, that is sending a very strong activation towards what you do want. Now, the trouble is most people stay in that what they do not want. They will sit there and tell you over and over and over again why their last year was terrible, why it was sucky, why bad things happened, confirming that energy and pulling it into the next year. So many people will set resolutions, and I did some research on resolutions that I'm going to share with you, because I'm a very curious person. And all of a sudden I was like, where do resolutions even come from? First of all, I have not set resolutions in a really long time, because I started to feel like there was something wonky about it. Like it just wasn't aligning with what I wanted to do or how I wanted to change my life. And it always felt like people would make resolutions and not follow through. Now, I'm a very follow through person, so I don't even know if that was true for me. I'm trying to think of like the last time I made resolutions, and honestly, it was at least 10 years ago. I don't ever remember setting resolutions in California. So, but when I set my mind to something, I create a determination, and then I just follow through. I'm a very disciplined person, and I know I'm very blessed to be that way. I stick to it. And one of the major reasons I've kind of always been this way, but I think one of the major reasons was the realization that if I can't keep promises to myself, who can I keep promises to? So making a promise to myself really matters, and it's about my self-respect. So respecting myself, respecting who I say I want to be, right? So if we say we want to be healthy, strong, and fit, it doesn't mean that we blow off the gym. This morning I went to the gym. I actually took a couple of days off from the gym because I had this terrible chest cold, and I don't like sharing that stuff with people. If you're the type of person who just goes out and spreads germs everywhere, God bless you. I can't, I just don't do it. Even before, the craziness of COVID, have always been a person who just doesn't really want to share, the yuckiness with people. So I kind of stick to home. And so we had a very, very, very quiet Christmas, super quiet. We went to church, which was incredible. It was amazing. We actually visited a Catholic church that we've been to before that we really love. Does it mean that I'm going back to the Catholic church? I don't know. What it means is it was just so familiar, and it feels like home to me because we spent 20 years in a Catholic church, and this one is really beautiful and special, and the people and the energy is really good. So the music was gorgeous, and my husband and I went together, and it was really special. And then we had a beautiful dinner with our girls for Christmas Eve. Just our two girls were here. And then Christmas Day, super quiet, low key. We went for a walk on the beach. It was a beautiful day. And just both kind of struggling with this head cold situation. And then had a really nice dinner with the girls and watched Elf. And that was like our Christmas. So it was great. It was actually really great. We didn't buy any presents. We didn't give any presents. We actually decided we're going to take our family on a vacation. January 6th, we're going to St. Croix. So it was really, really nice. If you can at any point in your life kind of step back from Christmas and create it differently and make it more special just by spending time together, I highly recommend it. Just to get out of that hustle and bustle for 1 year just was so great. I kind of hope this starts a tradition for us because it was good. Not that the vacation is cheap, but it's so much more powerful and worth it when you can just spend time with the people you love without the pressure of the presents and the whole hoopla. So that was awesome. So, decided to do this show because thinking about resolutions and intentions and what the difference is in that. And I'm going to share that with you. So I'm like, where did resolutions start? Like, why do we do this? As a society, we basically kind of follow the lead of whatever we're told, right? So since we were young, we heard you're supposed to do resolutions and you're supposed to give things up or you're supposed to add things, never really questioning why or where that came from. Excuse me. So I Googled, where did resolutions start? And it actually started in a festival that the Babylonians engaged in the first form of New Year's resolutions, partly to placate temperamental gods, such as by vowing to pay off debts or by returning borrowed farm equipment. So it really wasn't about improving people's lives. It was about placating gods at the Babylonian time, right? What? How do we pick these things up and just make them something else? I don't know. So I also asked, what makes people fail at resolutions? Let me just check that one because that was really interesting. Okay, so New Year's resolutions are largely a waste of time, according to this article. And it says setting goals as a new year dawns can be a good source of change. This often fails due to how unspecific and how unrealistic New Year's resolutions can be. Making them at the start of the year can also make the excitement wear off quickly. So, and we all know this funny thing where people join the gym the 1st of January. The gym's nuts. I'm not looking forward to that. I got to be honest. It's been really nice through the holidays without a lot of people there. Join the gym 1st of the year, and then by like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the people are gone, right? We all know that. And maybe you've been one of those people. I've actually never been one of those people. I've kind of always gone to the gym. It's kind of my thing. Like, it's one of those things that I really stay aligned with because it's just who I am now. And it's a habit that I started in my early 20s. I started going to the gym every day in my early 20s. So I've had breaks in there for sure. I did yoga for a long time, but the gym weight training is just, it's where my body excels. And it's where I feel my absolute best. It really is. When I get toned and I feel great. So hopefully you have something, some sort of exercise program where you're moving your body. Because the other thing that I realized laying in bed, and I think I've shared this before too, but it bears repeating, laying in bed and just laying around the house, my body was in so much pain, and I didn't have the flu. I know I didn't have the flu. I didn't have a fever. I really didn't have like a huge lack of energy. Um, I still cleaned the house. Like one day I had the head cold and I was like, that's it. I'm getting rid of this. So I opened all the windows. I cleaned the whole house. And I think that was the day after Christmas. And then the next day I got the chest cold. So I made this decision that it was over, and it wasn't quite over yet. So we had a little revisit there, but I had energy the whole time. So I know it wasn't the flu. So I was thinking about this and how my body, when I don't move it or stretch it or get the energy moving, you basically create, a condensation of energy in your body. So you kind of hold energy in your body. I don't know if that's the right word, but you hold energy, like you condense energy in your body, you hold it, and then you get all these aches and pains. And then as you keep laying around or sitting around, because your back hurts more. So most back pain is due to tight glutes or your psoas, which is in your abdomen. And most of it comes from sitting. Lower back pain, a lot of it comes from sitting. We're not meant to sit as much as we do. Or laying. When I lay in bed too much, my hips get really sore. So I'm doing all these things. I have some physical therapy stuff that I'm doing and stretching. And I got back to the gym yesterday, and I was super committed to getting back yesterday. Now, when I woke up in the morning, there was a little battle, right? Inside my mind, there's this little battle of, do you want to go or not? Like, you're just getting over this thing. Now I've got a vacation coming up, so that definitely helps motivate me to stay committed to my gym practice. So the whole time I'm getting dressed, I'm fighting myself, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back to bed. You don't feel good. And then I realized this because my daughter the day before, so both my girls came down with it. My middle daughter, she only had it for about 2 days. And then my younger daughter just refused to give into it. So she had a little head cold, and she did all the things. She does the steaming, the face steams, and the gargle salt water, and the colloidal silver in her throat and up her nose. And she does all these things, taking her vitamins, thinking positive, and still going to work. She didn't call in sick at all. And she was like, I am mind over matter. And I applaud her for that. And there are times I can do that. I thought I was doing that when I made a decision. But sometimes our body has something to release, and there's low vibrations in there. And one of the things, because my lungs kind of hurt, and I was vaporizing colloidal silver. So I kind of went into meditation, and I asked, what is this illness all about? And I got some grief stuff with my family that came up, and some grief stuff has come up recently with my family. So I understood that was what was clearing through this illness. So I, journal about that, and I get real about that, and I get connected to that, and I let it release from my body. So then I start feeling better. And that's exactly what happened. So I realized that morning that I was doing that I wasn't doing her positive affirmations. She wrote down all these positive affirmations and a list of things that we should do if we wanted to feel better. And I was like, I am healthy, well, and strong. I'm healthy, well, and strong. And I started to say that. And I went to the gym, and I had a great workout, felt fantastic. And I was able to go to the gym again today, even though getting out of bed, I had that voice going on. You don't need to go today. Don't go today. You need sleep. And I overrode that and went to the gym. So a lot of times when we're about to make big changes, when we're about to up level, there's going to be this resistance. Our mind, our ego, that part of us that wants to keep us small is going to kick up really strong, and we have to override it if we want to become someone new. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, when you're making a resolution, think about like the base word of that is resolve, right? We're resolving ourselves to becoming something new. I don't really love the word resolve, right? Like you think about problems and resolving problems, and intend is such a stronger word. And I'm going to actually look up the definition of that for you so that we can get to the difference between intentions and resolutions. So, to intend is to have a course of action for one's purpose or objective plan. So it's not just saying, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get healthy. It's basically putting a course of action into plan. So that's what an intention is. It's so much stronger than a resolution, and it's specific. So if you were to look at your next year and decide for yourself what kind of year you want to have, what kind of intentions would you set? So as an example, subject matter wise, I would go hit your finances. I would hit your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and then your relationships. Those would be the 5 areas that I would touch on, because those are the 5 biggest areas that really kind of encompass your life and what you want to create. And they really do determine how you're feeling, right? Like your relationships, especially like your most significant relationships. If your most significant relationship is in trouble, you're probably not feeling that good, right? Like when my husband and I aren't getting along, we both aren't happy. That's for sure. So looking at all 5 of those areas, and I'll say it again, you got your finances, if you want to write it down, your finances, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your relationships. So in your finances, you could add career. You could put career under that. So in all those 5 areas, where is it that you want to make improvements? So if it's relationships, which relationships do you want to improve on? Do you want to create new friendships? Do you want to find your soulmate? Do you want to just improve the friendships that you have, or improve the romantic relationship that you have? So you have to decide what is exactly that I'm clarifying to intend, right? Not just I want better relationships. That's so general. We need to be specific when we're setting intentions, because this is about activating energy. So then you take the next thing, my physical health. What do I want my physical health to look like in the next year? You can put it down as like, I want to lose a certain amount of weight. I would definitely pick a number. I think that that's helpful. But also, what is the intention and how are you going to do it? Same thing with your relationship. How are you going to do it? So if you want to manifest the love of your life, what kind of actions are you going to take to do that? Are you going to set up some some practices of self-love and self-care? Because if you don't love yourself, how can someone else love you? Are you going to do some healing work, maybe, right, from your past relationships? Are you going to journal and really work on your jealousy issues or whatever created angst in your last relationship? Or if you're trying to prove if you're improving your relationship that you're in right now, where are those areas that need improvement? A lot of times what I see in relationships, when people are struggling in a relationship, what I see is they're looking at what their partner's doing wrong, and they never look at their contribution to it, right? That's victimhood. That's blame. That's never going to get you anywhere. So looking at your relationship and saying, where is my stuff in this? And where can I give? Where can I add to this relationship? Where can I help to manifest change? Instead of just looking at the person and saying, if they would change, things would be better. No, you have to change the way you look at them, and then they'll change. That's how it works. So maybe it's writing down positive aspects about how much you love them. Maybe it's, scheduling time together. My husband and I have date nights where we've been very committed to that ever since our kids were little. And I think I've shared before, if we couldn't afford it, we would literally do picnics in the park. Luckily we had family back then that would help us out with childcare. They do nap. Sometimes they nap, right? You can do special things while they're napping. You can do a backyard party while they're napping. And then when it comes to your finances, the biggest thing about money, to shift your money this year, to shift your career this year, is how you feel about it. So notice what your relationship with money is like, right? What do you intend for money? If you're spending it and you're feeling awful about it, you're intending for more of it to go. If you're intending for it and unexpected bills are coming and you're getting upset about that, you're intending for more unexpected bills. So it all comes from the feeling that you have about your worthiness, your deservability, your ability to create abundance. When we up leveled out of that survival mode, which we did twice, it was so powerful to watch the energy based on the way we were responding. So when you get that unexpected bill, it's being grateful. It's understanding that it's having that faith that it's all going to work out. It's not freaking out. It's not having anxiety. It's not panicking. Now, we had fears. You have fears. It's normal. But those fears are an invitation. They're an invitation for you to clear that energy. So if you want 2025 to feel different, to be different, to act different towards you, you have to act different towards it. So you have to act differently towards money. If you're constantly like complaining to somebody about the way things cost or how you don't have enough, if you're always talking about your lack or feeling broke, or even if you're joking about being broke, those are all things that you're putting in your path that are sending intentions to the money that wants to come to you. Maybe you have a lot of money and you're just afraid that that money is going to go. You're sending an intention for that money to go. So you have to clean these things up. So it's writing down, how do I want to feel about money? What is my action plan for feeling better about money? What is my action plan for creating a new career this year? Doing something that I really love so that abundance can come because I love it. Or maybe I need to clean up my feelings about my present job. When you clean up your feelings about your present job, that's when new opportunities can come because you're not in this like low vibe stuck energy. So look at those things. Now, when it comes to your mental health, there's a couple of things to realize about your mental space, okay? And I know because I've dealt with this and actually recently dealt with this. One second. I apologize for the coughing, but I really want to do this show today. So I'm just I'm going to muddle through it. Okay. And I don't edit. You guys know that. So it's raw and it's real and it is what it is. Okay. So when it comes to your mental health, on, I forget what day it was, maybe Saturday, I started to kind of go down with this cough thing and I was really tired. So I took a super long nap and then I got up and I was like, all I want to do is watch TV. That's all I felt like doing. And I gave myself the pass to do that. But as I'm like laying there, you start to feel like I started thinking, what is the point of this? And that's when I started to come to these realizations that this was about releasing grief. Anything that's in the lungs is usually connected to grief. So that's when I started asking the questions like, what is the point of this? Why do people need to go through this? Why do we need to get sick? Why does it always happen at Christmas, right? Like we've had some bangers at Christmas, let me tell you. And the great thing was we actually, and I don't think my husband did this intentionally. We planned our vacation for a week after Christmas but thankfully we'll be done with this by then. So we've all had Christmases where we were all very, very sick, stomach bugs, COVID, the whole thing. So this year it was kind of nice that we didn't all get together and infect everybody and have to deal with the whole household like that. And that was our vacation. Instead, we're getting over it. So I started to turn towards gratitude. You can do this at any time. But if you are consistently, let's say you're not sick, but you're not feeling well, right? That is a story in your mind. It could be based on some vitamin deficiencies for sure. They say vitamin D goes extremely low in the winter, and that actually leads to depression. But most of the time, It is a cycle or a loop in your mind that gets you caught up. Think about getting caught up. My physical therapist always says this to me, like when I have issues, he's like, oh, it's caught up, like your nerves are caught up. So think about your mind being caught up in a neural habit, in a loop that keeps you down, that keeps you from thriving, that keeps you from doing the things that are going to make you feel better. So this is where you got to win the battle over that mind, and you got to go move your body, because moving your body is going to do a lot of things. It's going to set you up for an activation of energy. It's going to clear stale energy in your body. It's going to send a flood of chemicals, of hormones, especially if you do it outside in nature. I know it's some places is really cold right now, and we've had some pretty cloudy, yucky weather here. But if you can do it in nature, even better, to get those feel-good hormones, to get yourself out of that space. If you keep watching TV and scrolling, we call it the doom scroll here, keep scrolling on social media, and you don't get some outside activated energy, you're going to keep feeling the same, and you're probably going to keep feeling worse and worse and worse. If at any point you can grab for some gratitude, I'm really grateful that I can lay here today. I'm grateful that I didn't have to go to work today. I'm grateful that my husband actually really took care of me and got me food and the whole thing. I'm grateful that I have family around me that cares for me, that he actually got it before I did. So we were able to take care of each other, which was great. So those little tiny pieces of gratitude are going to shift the energy for you, and then it's going to create something totally different. All right. So that's the way to start shifting that mental space. Now, if you are prone to feeling low, especially in the winter, then you've got to add some things into your day that are going to help you to not battle that so much. The first one I always say is meditation. If you can have a quieting your mind practice, especially first thing in the morning, it's going to connect you to higher states of consciousness that are going to pull you out of those lower, denser feelings, thoughts. Reading really good stuff. I've been promoting Celestine Prophecy. I absolutely love that book, to understand how relationships work and how we navigate ourselves in relationships. Any kind of positive book. You've got my books. These are great. The Perfect Unfolding for the Expansion of Your Soul. These are available on Amazon. Quantum Speak for Parents, if you're looking for parenting. If you're looking for a really good journal this year, this is an amazing journal, and it has 100 pages. It's like a daily guide. So this is a beautiful book. It's very hardcover, and it's got some journaling pages in it. So it's going to give you a guide as to cleaning up that inner story. So this is great for your mental health. And then Mindful Manifestation Secrets, which I never have up here, I don't know why, is my first book, and that's also on Audible. These are all going to retrain your brain to have a better mental space, to be in a better mental capacity. Now, keep in mind, this has happened so many times with people that follow me or people that I'm friends with. When you first learn this stuff and you get really excited about it, it's really easy to see evidence of it. The hard part, and the part that often makes people give up or quit, is that you have to stay connected to a life that has no victimhood around it. So you have to give up the blame game. You have to give up being a victim, and you have to say, where is my stuff in this? Where am I responsible for this? Where am I sending out this energy? Because everything, it's an attraction-based universe. Everything that's in your field is part of what you're sending out. So getting real and honest about that stuff is a game changer. So then you set some clear intentions, right? I intend to create massive abundance this year. What does that look like for you? Put some numbers on a page. My husband and I just did this, and it was really amazing. And we actually put a little bit more than we thought was possible, right? So put a little bit more than you think is possible, or put a lot more. The problem with a lot more is it becomes too unrealistic. It's like a resolution. So then you just kind of let it go. So put something that feels doable, but a little bit of a stretch for you. That's your growing edge, right? Like it's possible, but I'm going to have to really put some actions in place for that. And then put actions in place. What are you going to do to attain that? You know, what are you going to improve in your life? How are you going to get there? Because and I'm guilty of this for sure in the past, where I would put this pie in the sky idea out there, right? And have no idea how I was going to attain it. So there were no steps. I didn't have any steps to get there. So then every year it's just this vision out there that I don't incorporate into my life, so it doesn't manifest. So be careful of doing that, because we don't just wish things into being. That's not how manifestation works. Manifestation is a specific law that works specifically like this. You have thought. That thought activates beliefs and feelings. Once those feelings get in motion, that's energy in motion, that's your emotion. And that's when this wave starts to kick up behind me. Then it becomes and breaks down into physical matter as you keep sending that signal. Now, it's possible to have a thought about something and drop it and still have it manifest. That happens all the time. That's like when you think of somebody and then all of a sudden they call you. That happened to my husband yesterday. That does happen. But when it comes to these things that we're really looking to intend for our life, that we're looking for changes to happen in our life, we need stronger activation. We need focus, because what we focus on expands. So as we focus, as life happens then, and it doesn't look like what we want is happening, we have to change our responses to it and say, I'm not putting up with that anymore. This is what's happening. So those unexpected bills come, we're not flipping out about them, because we're like, I'm on the abundance train. We're going to figure this out. How do we get creative? How do we figure out how to do this? Right? And a lot of times in law of attraction, they say, don't pay attention to the hows, because the hows can actually take you out. If you're trying to figure out how something's going to work, it often can do that. But I would say when it comes to the hows, it's the how to follow the energy, how to activate energy, how to create more of it in your life experience that really matters. It's not like I'm going to have to do this, this, and this to get it done. It's like, well, I have to keep leaning into this direction. I have to, I have to research this. How does this really look for me? 1 second. Oh, gotta love it. Okay. Whew. How does it look to actually create that? You can say all day long, oh, I want to be an attorney, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a general contractor, or I want to write a book. What are the steps to get there? Research the steps to get there. So I shared a little while ago that I was looking into becoming an interior designer, because that's something that we want to offer through our business. I'm getting really, really involved in my husband's business. It's really exciting. I'm really excited for what we're going to do in this next year. First time we've ever done this together, and it feels so impactful, and it feels so right, and we feel so connected. So I looked into college courses, and now this may happen to you, so pay attention to this. I started looking at college courses, and it blew me out of the water, because there was so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't go to school full time. Like, I'm running this business, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm writing another book, and there's no way. So it blew me out. And my husband was like, okay, what you need to do is go sit down with a counselor, tell them what you want to do, and see what the best avenue is. And that feels a lot better. So after the holidays, after we get back from vacation, that's my plan. It may not happen this year, and that's okay. But I'm also asking, right? So when I go into meditation, I'm asking, what is the best avenue to get more skills in that? Do I just take a leap of faith and just start doing it? I don't know. I think I need some more computer skills. I think I would like to have some sort of licensing. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, but I could have just ran away from that. So I'm just letting you guys know that when you start something new, there's a lot to it. So when you first look it up, it may overwhelm you. So back away from it a little bit, then come back to it, because there may be things that are starting to orchestrate in the universe for you. That's how it works. Like, I might meet someone who's an interior designer that I could help out for a little while. I don't know what's going to happen, right? Or that might not be the right avenue for me. There's a lot of other things I'm doing in this business right now, so that might not be the right step. But we'll find out based on following the energy. So for me, the next thing to do is to call the school and make an appointment and sit down with somebody to see what that looks like. That's the next step. And I don't need to get any further than that. And that's exactly way we talk about this all the time in our house. What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if you get too far ahead of yourself, that's why these intentions and these big things that you want to do in your life never get done, because they feel like too far of a leap. And there's worthiness and deservedness and all of that stuff that goes into it. Do I have what it takes? Am I smart enough? All of those things that are consistently in your mind, right? That's that shitty committee talking you out of these things. So set your strong intentions, write them down. The other thing I shared recently was scripting. Script it as if it's already happened. So that goes along with the I am statements. I am abundant. Again, if we get too general, right? Like this year I'm experiencing abundance. What does that mean? There's a definition out there of abundance that's abundance is just having what you need to have when you need to have it. That's the definition of abundance. Having more than enough, that's abundance. More than enough of what? More than enough bananas? More than enough money? Abundance is not money, by the way. Abundance is an energy that money can come through. It's a flow of energy, money can come through, but it's a feeling. Abundance is a feeling abundant, feeling like there's plenty, feeling like everything is working out. That is a feeling. It's not nickel and diming yourself. It's not being concerned so much about, oh, I'm spending this and I'm spending this and I'm spending this, and that constriction. Abundance is freedom. It's freedom. So then when it comes to your spiritual health, what are you going to do for that? How are you going to activate more spirituality? For us, it could mean going back to church. I don't know. And that doesn't mean like we're signing up to be Catholic again, because there's a lot of things in there. There's a lot of prayers that I just don't say, that I'm not going to say. But I love the rituals, and we were talking to my nephew the other day, and he was interested in coming with us. And he said, it's just having that, it's great to meditate and it's great to pray and it's great to like hike and talk to God and all of that stuff. But to have like this specific time every week where for an hour you're doing nothing else but sitting and listening and being part of something that is really spiritual is something to consider. So I'm not pushing you to go to church, but I do think there's something to be said for community, for coming together, for praying together. I do think there is value in that. So spirituality could mean reading up on spiritual books. It could mean a longer meditation time. It could mean pulling more crystals into your house. Whatever that means for you, how you connect to higher states of consciousness. It could mean more time in the woods. It could mean more time connecting with people you love. Whatever makes you spiritually feel like you're growing. Could be, taking some courses. Although, I do caution the idea. I always call this paralysis of analysis, when you're always trying to like better yourself. There's an underlying foundation that you're not good enough when you're doing that. And I used to do it, so I get it. I love to learn about things, but I don't come to it as like, I need to do this so it fixes me, because we are a healing mechanism. We have the ability to heal on our own, and we don't need anybody to tell us how to heal. Or, I actually read a quote the other day that was interesting, and it was about getting addicted to spiritual leaders or to, law of attraction coaches or different things like that. And when we get addicted, it's like we kind of bypass our own guidance. So if you're listening to something, that's fine, but also go within and make sure that this stuff lines up with who you are and the beliefs feel right to you. Okay. Another great spiritual practice is automatic writing. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's really cool. It's where you just sit with your journal and you just write. And the last book that I wrote was very much like this. And I've done it for a few of my books, where I just literally open my channel in the morning. That's what my posts are all about. And I just write. So that's automatic writing, where you're not really thinking, you're just kind of letting the words flow through you. You can do it in a prayer form. You can do it in an intention form, however, whatever feels right for you. But automatic writing is just kind of letting your hand kind of go, whether you type or write. They say writing is better, but I'm a typist. I like to type. So writing, journaling, getting to spend time with yourself, by yourself in the quiet, where you can actually connect with that higher state of consciousness, with that true inner being that you are, beyond the physical realm, beyond the you that is you, the person, the persona that is you. So that's another really great spiritual practice that you can adopt. And it's like the best thing with intentions is just, that's why I'm giving you these 5 areas, is just to take a few things and intend for them, and then stay committed to them. Promise yourself and don't falter. And if you miss a day, let's say you say, I'm going to work out 5 days a week, and you're not working out at all right now, and you miss a day, then it doesn't mean the whole thing is gone. It's like you just get back on it, because that's who you are. That's who you have become. I was actually listening to it was a little reel with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was saying what working out does for him. He's worked out his entire life, and what happens when he doesn't work out. Like, he doesn't feel like himself. So exercise can be that way, where it can become who you are, and then you're not it without it. So it's adopting these new behaviors and these new beliefs about yourself that actually create a whole new persona, a whole new being, a whole new way of being that benefits you. So write down a couple of things that that you can do every day that's going to put you on your best potential path, right? So it could be waking up to meditate, exercising, and eating a healthy breakfast. Just 3 things that are going to dramatically affect the rest of your day, the rest of your life. So if we take it in small increments and we don't put out these big plans, we're much more likely to succeed, right? It's these small habits over time that really make a difference. That's what really matters. It's not the weight on the scale. It's really how you feel. It's, it's the intention, it's the energy, it's what you are deciding for yourself on a daily basis. So intentions are different than resolutions because they have an action plan behind them. So make sure whatever you are intending for yourself, you have actions and you are committed to those actions. That snooze is not in charge of you, right? Get rid of your snooze button. If you hear nothing else, get rid of your snooze button, because the snooze button sets the intention for the day that you don't want to face the day. And what is the day going to be like if you don't want to face it? What kind of day are you going to have if you don't even want to get out of bed? So there's energy in everything we do, in every intention we set. And if we don't pop out of bed in the morning, I got one alarm. I'm out of bed within 60 seconds. 2 minutes maybe. Usually I have a cat come in behind that alarm that makes sure that I get up, but I don't fall back to sleep because I'm excited about what I'm about to do. I look forward to it. There's coffee, first of all. I really look forward to my coffee. And there's my post. So I have my coffee, I do my post, and then I go to the gym. That's it. And it's like a recipe for success, because I know when I'm done with the gym, I'm going to feel great. If I can get those, and then when I come home from the gym, that's when I meditate, because it's so early in the morning. I don't meditate before the gym because I'd have to get up at like 4 instead of 4:17. Yeah. There is such a thing as too early. You know what I mean? Okay. We're going to do a little intention setting energetically to really, really facilitate this for you. All right. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. and just let it out. Let out all the years before. Let out this past year. Just release all the energy from before. So everything you've ever done before, if you've let yourself down, if you haven't, come forth in promises, just let it all go. It doesn't matter. Today is a new day. Today you are brand new. Okay? All right, so we're going to ask for all that old, it's already coming. We're going to ask for all that old energy to leave. It's like, just bursting forth from me. So just keep breathing in and out, in and out. Really breathe. And when you breathe out, make sure you breathe all the way out. So all that stale air in your lungs, let it go. And as you let the energy out, you're going to start to feel your shoulders are going to drop a little. You're going to stop feeling the weight of the world in your shoulders. And we're just going to open up your crown. And we're going to let in all this beautiful, warm, golden light. We're going to bring that light all the way through the top of your head, just activating that spiritual center so that this year is the most spiritual year of your life, that you have the most awakenings this year, starting now. And let that light come through the middle of your forehead all the way around. I'm seeing it swirl, so it's swirling around your forehead. And it's opening up that third eye. So we're opening up, we're igniting that intuition so that you can hear your own guidance, so that you can be fully connected to the guidance of higher states of consciousness and let go of the monkey mind. Beautiful, so clear, so beautiful, so clear. And if you want to see the violet color, purple, you can see that in your third eye. And then bring that energy down the front of your face, releasing all the energy in the front of your face and down the back of your neck. And bring it around to the front of your throat. And this is this beautiful turquoise energy, if you want to see that. We're going to open up your throat. So we're bringing all this beautiful intention-filled light into your throat. You can be honest and real. Speak your truth. Be funnier. Be wittier. Be more lighthearted. Have a better time. Have better jokes. Really connect with the intelligence of your true inner being and where your inner being and higher states of consciousness meet in your truth. Yeah. Ooh, that was a big one. That actually came up from your solar plexus, so power center connecting to the throat. Good job. All right, and then coming into your heart, we see this beautiful emerald green color, and we open up that heart. So we're asking for a full healing. If you have grief, if you have anger, if you have hatred, just bringing unforgiveness, bringing that all to the light, allowing you to fully heal and opening up to new intention, new love, new relationships, new love for yourself, new connections to your healing, and more guidance from the heart. So following the guidance of what your heart is calling you to is the energy of 2025. Yeah, feel that. That feels really good. Peace, love, gratitude. And then bringing that light into your power center, since it was already streaming up from there, right in your abdomen, right near your belly button. We activate your power in 2025, allowing you to be your most powerful self, manifesting, connecting with your true desires, setting your action plans in place, following what you intend, and allowing the energy to be received by you. So no desperate energy, no chasing, just putting actions in place, intentions, following energy, and being very clear, very powerful. And then activating below the belly button, we activate your sacral chakra in the balance of your emotional field. Activating your creativity so that you have lots of ideas that you're able to act upon. Balancing out your sexual energy, so allowing that to be satisfying and fulfilling and healed and whole and worthy and deserving. And then going into your root, and that was orange, by the way, and your power center is yellow, orange, and then we go to the root, which is red, and this is where you feel your faith and you feel supported and connected, and you know the truth. And the truth is that you are not alone. You are fully supported, fully guided, and fully here to experience your truest potential. And feel that light up in your root. Setting these strong intentions for this next year, for these next days, for your life to transpire in the most magical, miraculous, and manifestational ways. We call this all into being. So imagine that this light is coming up all the way around you, maybe in a rainbow circle with all the beautiful colors of the chakras, holding you, guiding you, keeping you warm, keeping you safe, letting you know that these intentions are real and that the energy has been fully activated. Just letting that energy land, maybe just for a moment, seeing some of these intentions as they come to light, as they come to truth. Seeing yourself going through the motions and feeling the elation and the joy, maybe seeing the smile on your face, seeing the relationship, the job, the finances, the bank account, the awesome way that you feel, being more spiritual, being mentally balanced, having your physical health, all of the things that you intended for being already done because you decided it was so. That was a beautiful ride. Hopefully you enjoyed that. You can do that again anytime that you feel like maybe you're slipping away from the intentions that you set, or you just want to feel really positive and good energy. These activations, they stand the test of time, so they're always good to come back to. I was like I was somewhere in the 40s on that. So you can look 45 maybe, I think I was at. I don't know. Time just slips away when I'm in the middle of those things. So there is no time. But if you want to go back to it, I think it was in the 40, 42, 45 area. So this was a great show. I'm super excited. I'm sorry for all the throat clearing and coughing, but it comes with the territory of clearing, and I'm on the mend, and that feels really good. So hopefully you are well. Hopefully this show really solidifies some things for you so you can set those intentions so this year can be absolutely incredible, because it has all the potential. It has so much like ripe and ready and raring energy to go. And I hope you can feel that from me, because I feel it so strongly, and I have not actually felt this much excitement or this much just positivity for the next year coming in. I really, really feel strongly about this, probably more than I ever have. So you can take that to the bank and set your intentions, be clear, set yourself up for success. I'm here. If you have questions, you can get me at livelifegolden@gmail. You can follow me on Facebook at Goldyn Duffy, Goldyn, Live Life Golden at Instagram, and my Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast and YouTube show. So I love you all. This has been amazing, and I'm so, 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 so grateful, and I love y'all. Peace. See you next year. Actually, this is next year when you're hearing this, so I'll see you again.